And we are recording.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to the first episode of season 2.
It's one of those party things.
I thought you were trying to make a fart noise. I was like, what are you doing? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
You mean like...
Are you f***ing serious, bro? If it stinks, I'm gonna fight you. You are so ridiculous. Anyways, welcome back. We are so happy to have you. I can't believe you just did that, dude. We're keeping that in.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, all joking aside, we are happy to have you guys back.
Yeah.
So we have not had an episode since, what, May?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, wow. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really been a while. We've done a lot of stuff since May.
A lot has happened, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yes. So, we moved in together.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to a new state to be with David.
Yeah.
I got a job.
Yep.
We have a new apartment. Not the best, but we will talk about that later, I promise.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not in this episode, but we will talk about it later because a lot has happened with our apartment and the people who run it. It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess, and we've been through it. It really be like that. But yeah, I mean, we did talk about this on the Sunny Sesh. If you guys want to go over and watch it, it is on our YouTube, or we also have it on any of your favorite podcast streaming websites or apps or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for just more details about where we want to be taking this podcast for the second season and changes we want to make, just head over there and watch it. It should answer any question you'll have. If not, comment and we'll try our best to answer it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we did move in together. So we're living in Albuquerque together. Not the best place. Let me just say that.
Yeah. Crime rate is incredibly high.
Yeah, and we don't live in like a horrible part of town, but it's not great.
Yep.
I've had some things happen to me. We'll talk about that in another episode, but it's been a lot. I've really been going through it.
Right.
We've been here for almost exactly a month today.
Yep.
Yeah. So we actually moved in together briefly at his parents' house for about, what, like 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, it was 2.5.
2.5? Yeah. It was about the middle of June when I headed over there. I drove my car over, and in that time, we had to do a lot of planning. You know, we had to get stuff set up. We had to figure out how we're going to get our stuff moved into the apartment.
Yep.
And I couponed a lot. I'm not going to lie. I couponed a lot, got a big stockpile of laundry stuff and dental hygiene stuff and soap and literally cleaning product, anything you could really think of that you would coupon, I got it. Besides food. I'm not into couponing the food. I do like saving money on food, but I cannot like hoard food. I cannot eat that much. Yeah. But
you went hamsies.
I did go hamsies. I calculated it out, and I've still bought stuff after that too, but when I calculated it out, I think it was right before I left, I had only spent approximately $150, and I had, I think, $500+ worth of stuff, maybe even more. I don't remember exactly how much it was.
That's
but
insane.
It was a lot. Yeah. Most of that came from like laundry products, because I save mostly on like laundry detergents and softeners, stuff like that.
Yep.
Is where you get like the most savings from, and they give you like the biggest coupons for. So I always got a lot of those. A lot of soap, like dish soap. I have probably like 10 dish soaps.
So much toothpaste too.
Yeah, we have, oh my gosh. I'm not kidding when I say I probably have over 30 toothbrushes.
Yep.
And I'm not hoarding them all for myself. I've decided that I want to donate some of these because there's no possible way that I'm going to use 30 toothbrushes.
Maybe in the next 25 years.
Maybe. It's just the way that it works is that they always have the deals with these Colgate toothbrushes because you get them for $2.75 and you get like savings if you buy two because the coupon is for $5. So you basically get them for like almost free. So they always tell you to buy 2 packs of the toothbrushes. I think they have 2 or 3 in the pack.
Yeah.
I think it's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to buy a lot of them. So I just have a lot of toothbrushes. So if you need a toothbrush, hit me up. Yeah. I've got a lot.
Yep.
But
and toothpaste.
Yeah,
Please.
and toothpaste. I have a lot of toothpaste as well. But yeah, so another thing that we had to do was like the payments. We had to set up the payments. And probably the biggest one that we're still dealing with, even after we moved in, is furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah, furniture is literally so expensive. Living with my parents, I never really thought about it, but everything is so expensive. It's so agitating.
Yeah, like you just go into a house or an apartment or whatever and they have like a side table to the couch. You don't really think much of it, but it's like, man, that probably cost them like $90 if they bought it brand spanking new.
Yeah, just the side table.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's literally so insane. So, we still don't even have side tables for our bed, like the little nightstands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to muster up the money for it. I'm like, no, I don't want to spend it on that. So it's so expensive.
Yep. We still use the floor as our nightstand.
Yeah, basically. What was nice though is that our neighbor threw out like a nightstand or like a side table thing, and we were like, yeah, we should take this.
Yep.
And so we did.
Just chilling by the dumpster. I'd watched them put it out there too. I was like, okay. Well, I watched them put the wardrobe they had out there. I didn't see them put the nightstand out, and then you pointed that out.
Yeah. We were looking at my car, and I noticed that there was the nightstand, and then it looked like a pantry or like a wardrobe, like you were saying.
Yeah. And
we opened it, and it smelled like cat piss. It smelled horrible.
Yeah, the wardrobe did.
Yeah, but then we looked at the little nightstand. It was fine, so we just took that.
Yep.
One less thing we had to buy.
Exactly.
But we kind of found this out just looking at all these furniture places because they have just this like long road of furniture stores. I don't remember what road, but if you're in this area, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. There's just like a bunch of furniture stores around. And
oh yeah.
We were kind of just trying to figure out what we really wanted for our apartment because we really want to buy stuff that we're going to like and we're going to keep for a long time. So we kind of just went store to store, not really knowing what we want. And we're looking at these prices and we're like, oh my God, dude.
Each couch, like none of the couches you would really see were below $2,300. It's just like, dang, I don't really want to spend that kind of money on a couch.
Well, exactly. It's just like in my head, everybody has a couch. So like, how is everybody affording this? And like, am I missing out on something? Is there just some like big sale that I don't know about? I feel insane.
Buy an apartment, get a couch free.
I guess so, dude. Like they already come furnished or something. I don't know. But we did a little shopping. We found this place in the mall that had like fairly okay prices. They had this clearance section at one specific store that we went in, and the first time we had went in this store, because we went I think probably 2 or 3 times, we went in there and we talked to the sales associate, and there's nobody in there. It's like desolate, and this person comes up and they're like, hi guys, how are you? And just like trying to get us to buy something, obviously, because they make commission.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, don't miss out on the clearance section in the back. And we're like, oh, where is it? And they're like, oh, so you just go all the way down the hall, and then you go down the hall again, and then you'll see it. We're like, okay. And so we kind of just go where she's pointing, and it's this creepy ass empty hallway, and it looks like someplace you get murdered.
Yeah, exactly.
Genuinely, it's like in like the back rooms. It's weird.
Definitely an adequate place for a haunted house during Halloween.
Yeah, we actually talked about that when we were in there one time. It's very creepy looking, but if you go down there and at the end it has like this clearance spot with a bunch of like clearance furniture that they either can't sell because it's so gaudy and ugly,
Yeah.
or it's just kind of like beat up a little bit, or it's stuff that they just don't have any more stock of and they're just trying to get rid of the model piece or whatever that they had out on the floor.
Yeah, the showpiece.
Yeah, there you go. That's the word. But we found one day when we went, and it was so... Oh, I loved it. It was so big. It was an armchair.
Yep.
But it was huge. And it was gray. And you would like lay on... It was so comfortable. And I wanted it so bad. And I didn't want to talk to the person that was like the salesperson because I hate negotiating, but I know that's like how you get a good price. And for those of you who are trying to find furniture and you're going to a furniture store, always negotiate. Don't take just what they say. Don't look at the listing price and be like, oh, I can't afford that. You can definitely bring those prices down. I had no idea you could even do it until we tried it, and you can.
Yeah. I was amazed that you could even do that. I didn't know you... Like, that was the thing. I thought it was like buying food at the store. You know, you can't negotiate the food.
Well, exactly. And I feel like they just expect people not to, so they just don't even worry about it. I looked it up because I was so scared to ask for like a discount, and that's a thing. You can. Just don't become a Karen when they don't give you what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, we had found this chair that we really liked, and it was, I think, full price, almost like $400, was it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they were listing it as, I think.
During the clearance, yeah.
Yeah. So, which is like kind of understandable. It was out of our price range. We really didn't want to pay that much just for an armchair.
Yeah.
But I had David go talk to the employee because I hate that confrontation, like I mentioned. So David talked to the employee and I went to the bathroom.
Yeah. And so when she was in the bathroom, I talked to the guy, and he was, I was just kind of asking him about stuff. And originally I'd asked him about a potential TV stand that we were looking at, but it was still pretty out of our price range. And then he had told me that it was on clearance, and he said anything that's on the clearance sticker right now is also an extra, I think he said like 30% off.
Yeah.
And so it was like already marked down and then also an extra 30% off. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And so I confirmed with him twice. I was like, so this nightstand says $500. It's marked down to $400. And then you said also another 30% off. So that would be $120 off, right? And he was like, yeah. So you'd be paying what, $280? And I was like, okay, yeah. And so I confirmed with him twice on this. And so we were looking at the chair, and we had already calculated the price for it. Do you remember what the final price would have been if we bought it that day?
I think we could have got it out of there for $250.
$250? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, $250.
Yeah.
And so we were just like, okay, yeah. Let's kind of think on it and stuff. And we came back the next day.
And I remember he was like, well, this isn't guaranteed to be here. Like, he was really trying to sell it on us.
Yeah.
And I really wanted it, and I did not want to leave it there. But I was like, you know what? The chances of people, coming back to this creepy alley and going down there and finding this chair aren't very likely. The mall we went to, I feel like a lot of people weren't even in the store, so I wasn't too worried about it.
Right.
But I wanted it. So we kind of thought about it, and then David had told me, I think he said, if you really want it, we can go back and look the next day or whatever. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then in my head, I knew, I'm like, I don't want it for $400 whatever dollars.
Right.
I want it for this price. I'm like, if it's this price, I think we should probably get it. And so the next morning, we had to pick up a TV stand because we actually found one for a good price. It was what, $65?
Yeah, originally it was listed as $70. Or no, it was like $75. Yeah, $75. And then I went to the person's house and just kind of looked at it. It was a little more broken than I had thought. And I was like, would you take 65? And she was like, yeah.
But yeah, so we were getting ready to do that in the morning. And he pulls up his Facebook and he has a message from some like distant relative.
Yep.
And he just like messaged him. What did he initially say?
So he had messaged me. He says, "Hey David, how are you?" And I was like, so basically who this was, it was my my step grandpa on my mom's side. So yeah.
Just very distant.
Yeah, very distant. I've only ever really met him, I think once, maybe twice. And so he said, "Hello David, how are you?" And he's talked to me a few times before, and I was like, "Oh, cool. I was like, hey dude, what's up?" And so I was like, and in my mind I was thinking, that's kind of weird he's messaging me, he's old, and I was like, old people, they're notorious for getting hacked. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just play along, because maybe he's really actually messaging me, maybe he's just like lonely, want to catch up. And I was like, "Hey, I'm good, how are you?" And he was like, "I'm doing good, glad to hear that and stuff." And he's like, "I hope you're staying safe." And I was like, yeah, you too, I hope you're staying safe. This pandemic has been some pretty trying times. Mm-hmm. And then he had messaged me. He said, "Have you heard about this like website or like company or whatever?" And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, yep, okay. Definitely a scam.
It was like the COVID relief for companies, like that. And it was a real organization,
right?
But the link was super sketch. Like it definitely wasn't. It wasn't the link to that, and there was no reason that he would send that to David for whatever reason. Like it didn't make sense, because he doesn't own a small business, because it was the COVID relief for the small businesses, I think, like the loan they were giving out.
Yeah, the abbreviation was LCIF. I don't even remember what it was, but yeah. And so I was like, "Oh, okay, I haven't heard about that. What is it about?" And he had like went on a short spiel, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And a little background about my step grandpa here. When my grandma had died, he bought her house, because there was like this huge deal with like who's gonna get the house, who's like they're gonna have to put it up for sale. No one was wanting to buy it because it was full of mold, and it was a huge deal, and there was a lot of legal stuff. Really, really long story. Long story short, to make life easy, he just bought the house. It was like super cheap, like $30,000.
Yeah.
It's like an 1,800 square foot house. Great. But and so I asked him, I was like, "When did you buy her house?" And he said like May 31st or something weird. I was like, which year? This year? And he said, "Yes, of this year." And at that point I was like, okay, 100% definitely he's a scammer. It's not him. Yeah. Because it was something that I knew. I just didn't know the specific date. I thought maybe he was just giving the date and not the year. So that's why I'd asked the year. But so yeah, I knew he was definitely a scammer at this point. And so I was like, sure, I'll take a look. And I wanted to like see if I could find where he was. So there was this website you can go through. I think it's called Grabify. You can put a link in, like say an eBay link to a listing. And this is what I did. I actually got like a sofa listing from eBay, put it through Grabify, and whoever clicks that link, it'll show you their computer information, like their IP address, where it's located, things like that. It's completely free to use, and
it's not illegal or anything, by the way.
No, it's completely free. You can just find it on Google. Super easy. No downloads, just going through the web. And I said, I was wanting to get this couch for Jessica, and I just made up this name. I don't know a Jessica. And so I was like, "What are your thoughts?" And he was like, "I think that's great." And he never clicked the link, sadly. He just kind of looked at the thumbnail that comes up when you put it on through Facebook Messenger. And I was like, okay. And so I was like trying to bait him into doing it. I was like, where it says condition, I can't really like remember. There's also like another one on that page. Can you take a look at it? And he said like, "I'll take a look soon," or whatever. And I can't really remember exactly what he said. I was like, okay, great. And I was like, "I really appreciate your help. Ever since Grandma passed, Jessica has really been torn up about this." And so I wanted to get her something nice. And he's like, "Yeah, I think that'll be nice." And then I just like let a few minutes pass. And then I was like, "Ooh, I think this one would be great too." So I sent him a listing of a TV, hoping he would click it to see if I can get his information. Still no luck. And so Alexa and I eventually decided, okay, let's try to like mess with him further. And so I was like, "Oh, did you get the payment for Alex's car?"
Yeah. So I just want to start off with, I've always wanted to try this, and it's just something I've never had the chance to do until now. So I kind of pitched the idea to David. I'm like, what if we requested money from him, and just like to see what he would do, and just like try to get him to like just send us money? Because Usually scammers are not smart. I'm telling you, we said it in the last scammer episode we did. Oops, sorry. I said this in the last scammer episode we did. Scammers are not smart. They are just trying to find easy ways to get quick money. They're stupid. Genuinely. They're stupid. Unless you're dealing with some like super, elite whatever that knows what they're doing. For the most part, they're just like working for people and they don't really care that much.
And that's why they're scammers.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Exactly.
And so the idea was to try to essentially scam the scammer. And so I was like, did you get her $500 that she owes you? And so I was like, in the scammer's mind, he's like, oh, we're going to scam him by clicking this link and we're going to get another $500 out of this person. Great.
Exactly.
And so in our minds, we're like, nah, Batman. And so I was like, okay, she can send you it. Or I actually used Alex as a guy. I was like, he can send you this money. And we went through Cash App, and I sent the Cash App to the scammer who the account we were using for that. And so instead of sending 500, we requested 500 in hopes he'd just click it and it would send and we'd call it good and be done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. He was a little bit smarter than that. And so he was like, hey, you accidentally click request instead of send. You need to send me the money. And so.
Yes. And so this is kind of where I was quick on my feet. And I was like, oh, you know, Alex, because I think you were in the shower when he had responded. He was like, oh, well, you actually, you requested the 500. You didn't send it.
Right.
And so I hopped on your computer and I was like, oh, you know, Alex, she doesn't understand any of this technology stuff. You know she'll get it to her. Just accept it and she'll just bring back 1,000 for you.
Yeah. And he didn't buy it.
Yeah.
He didn't quite buy it. But you could tell he was getting close. And so we were like, okay, what other method could we use? And
yes.
So I was like, all right. Well, do you remember last time we did it because we had to send the money, you had to send the money to us and then we send it back to avoid the transfer fees. And then he was like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, don't you remember we did that last time? And then in that moment, he sent you the 500.
He literally sent me the $500. And I was also grilling him because I was on David's computer. I was like, and I was like, well, Alex has to go to work. Alex needs to leave right now or else she can't give you the money right now. So, and I was just really getting into him. And then finally he sends it. And I was shocked. I thought he had maybe found my number and just was like, whoever sent you $500. But it was legit. I looked at my Cash App. I had $500 in there.
That was crazy.
I was so shocked. I was over the moon. I was like, there's no way this worked.
We scammed the scammer.
Yeah, we scammed the scammer. And I was ecstatic. I was like, bro, oh my God. I'm like, we have $500 now. And David's like, we can go get your couch.
Yep, we can go get that chair. And so we went to the mall within the hour.
Yeah.
And
right after we picked up that TV stand, we went to the mall.
Yep. And so we went to the mall and we got there. We went to the clearance section. I couldn't find the guy that had told us about the whole 30% off of the clearance stuff that whole day. Mm-hmm. Turns out he was just with another customer. But I went back there and I think it was the manager of the store or something came back. Uh-huh. He had a different color shirt on or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I was like, so yeah, the dude told me yesterday it's an extra 30% off. He's like, nope. He's like, it's only marked down just a little bit. So it's $400 now. You'll be paying $380. And I was like, what? And so it's just hella confusing. And I was like, but the guy told, he's like, nope, the guy was wrong. And I was like, okay, so he straight up lied to us.
Yeah. So what I thought was really weird is that the guy was like, no, that was the deal for the weekend. And it was literally still the week. It was Sunday. It was the weekend.
It was Father's Day, I think.
Yeah. And he's like, well, he had said, he's like, that's for the Father's Day sale. And then that's for the weekend sale that we have. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's literally the weekend.
Yeah, he kept changing his story.
Yeah, he literally just kept changing his story. And I'm getting annoyed. And I looked at him in the face, and I'm not the type of person to deal with somebody who's trying to go back on their word. And I was like, no, I don't want this for this price. And he's like, okay, well, bye, basically. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh my God.
And we just left. We never got it. So.
Yeah, we left. And then you had gone back in the store, and you were like, hey, so like, what happened? So you were
Yeah.
trying to find that guy.
Yeah.
And then he stopped you again,
Yep.
huh?
Yep. He stopped me again and he was like, "Hey, you're back." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was just trying to get like clarification. He kept changing his story and it's just super inconsistent. And it was really shitty of him to do that.
And what pissed me off is that he had finally just admitted that the guy, quote unquote, lied. And he's like, well, the guy's new and he had no idea what he's talking about. So unfortunately, we can't give you the deal. Like, you literally told us he told us that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand that was his mistake. You know what I mean? I'm not upset at the guy. I'm upset at you for not honoring that. You're the manager.
Yeah.
Like,
And if we bought it that day, the day before, we would have gotten it for the low price.
yeah, I just thought it was kind of bullshit that he would not honor that despite not training his employee enough to know what the sale was.
Right.
But yeah, so after that, I didn't really think about the fact that we had scammed the scammer. Like, it would come up and I was like, dude, I literally cannot believe we did that. And I kind of just like had the money in savings, and then we planned to go get a washer and dryer, which we ended up getting.
Yep.
We got a washer and dryer for our apartment.
$400.
Yeah, it was a pretty good price. Still a little expensive for what it was, but it's stackable, so what can you say?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, normally that model in particular is like $1,200. So even used.
Really?
Yeah. If you bought it from like a company used, like $1,200. So I'd say we got a good deal on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just cheap. But so, as I said, I didn't really think about it, and then like a few weeks passed. And then I get a notification on my phone and it says, "Oh, $500 is being refunded to whoever." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And my stomach dropped because I'm like, well, now that I've had this money for a while, you know, I've like spent it.
Yeah, we already spent the $500.
Yeah, so like I spent this money and it was in my account. So my account got drained $500 back to a scammer that money probably wasn't even theirs.
Yeah.
And I just like, I knew it was too good to be true. I was like, there's no way that we got away with the $500. And my ass was thoroughly chapped. I was so pissed. Like, in the end, I'm like, whatever. Like, I knew that technically what I hypothetically did, this is a hypothetical story, by the way. I hypothetically did this for legal reasons. I hypothetically did that, and I know it. If I were to have done that, it would have been very wrong and illegal, but good I hypothetically didn't do it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but yeah, so he had also, that guy had also reached out to your brother too, huh?
Yeah, so the same scammer from the same account, my mom's stepdad, he reached out to my brother because he's just going through the friends list, and he had tried to talk to my brother too. And I had already told my parents, like, hey, you know, I don't want to say his name, but
yeah,
he was like, hey, he's just his account got hacked. There's a scammer reaching out to people. Just be aware of that. So I was like, Mom, just in case he reaches out to you, don't click any links, because my mom's the type to click links. But so yeah, my brother told me, he's like, oh, he tried talking to me too. And I was like, dang, we should have jumped on that.
We really should have. We should have scammed that motherfucker out of more money. It made me mad because,
yeah,
I don't know. I really wish I could have kept it. But I mean, as I said, hypothetically, if I were to have done that in a hypothetical sense, I would probably not have attached my bank account to it, because then I probably would have gotten away with it if I had done that. Hypothetically, yeah. If I would have tried scamming the scammer,
yeah,
that's would have happened, and I would have gotten away with it. But yeah, that's basically what happened when we tried to scam the scammer and we failed.
Yeah.
I think next time, if that were to have ever happened, hypothetically, I think we could have gotten away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You just get one of those like credit cards that's like a temporary one.
Yeah.
Pay like $1 for the service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many cybersecurity majors does it take to scam the scammer?
Apparently more than 2.
I guess so. By the end of our degrees, we'll have like a PhD between us.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, guys. So that about wraps up us scamming the scammer. And we just wanted to leave it on this note. We want to give y'all some advice. But first, I want to mention that we are not getting any submissions for our advice section, the Sunny advice. So we're not sure if we really want to keep it for this season. It doesn't really seem to be very popular with people.
Right.
We have had submissions, of course, but the well has dried up, queens.
Yep.
And kings and whatever else, I guess. But we need submissions. So if you guys want us to keep it, or if you don't think it's a very good idea, we're going to put some polls up on our social media. Just go there and vote for whichever one you want, or comment, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. But yeah, so just vote and let's get into this advice. So one thing I want to mention is the biggest thing that chaps my ass with this whole story is get some sort of documentation or proof whenever you go into these stupid furniture stores.
Yes.
That you are gonna pay the price that they had quoted you on. There have been so many times this month, and like the past few months even, that people have lied to me about the price of something. Just blatantly lied to my face about it.
Yep.
So please, if you live in a one-party consent state, which I think is probably about half of the states, if I'm correct.
I think it's only like 10 of them.
That are one-party consent?
Yeah.
I know that California is not, but I know that New Mexico is, and so is Texas. I don't know about any other ones.
Oh, I was thinking the other way around. The ones that are not. Okay. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, I think there's a lot that are one-party consent states.
So there's only 10 that's not. 10 or 12, something like that.
Okay, but yeah. So just kind of look it up. It'll be easy to find for your state if you are able to do that or not. Just either record what they're saying or get them to write it down and sign it. Because I'm telling you now, I was so annoyed. I wanted that sofa so bad. Or I guess the armchair. I keep calling it a sofa. Y'all know what I mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Another thing is that don't click links. We've said that before in the scammer episode, but do not click links. You will get hacked. Yep. I promise.
Yep. It'll happen.
Yeah. Even in your emails, like just don't click links.
Yeah. I mean, even if you see an email from your bank account and you're like 99.9% sure it's from them, if they have a link in there to sign in, just don't click it anyway. Just go directly to the website. It's just good practice.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who want to kind of go into the corporate world, you're going to get emails from your IT center that are going to send you the phishing emails, and you're going to get caught, and you're going to have to do the training, and it's not worth it. And they're going to think you're stupid, probably.
Yep. They're probably going to keep a tally down of everyone that clicked it.
Mm-hmm. I think some places, if you get to like a specific amount, they just like revoke your rights.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I mean, I would if I was a company and
honestly,
some old person just kept clicking like the links. I'd
every
be like,
link in all the emails.
Dude, I'd be like, okay, you can't have an email anymore. Sorry, you need to not have any access to a company computer, company Wi-Fi, anything. You're on your own, bro. Yep. You're fired.
You're fired.
Because, I mean, what could you do at that point? Like, nothing for work.
You've been promoted to customer.
That's funny. And then another thing is if you suspect that your friend or your family or just any loved one in your life is, like, a scammer or, like, has been hacked, I should say, ask a question that you think that they would know. Like, probably only they would know. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, again, in our example before, when I had asked my stamp grandpa, like, when'd you buy, my grandma's house? And he said, May 31st of this year. I was like, nah, that's wrong. So that's how I knew he was definitely the scammer.
Exactly. Don't ask questions to where they could, like, lie about it. Like, don't be like, oh my God, remember that conversation we had about this? And they're like, yes. Or
exactly.
Whatever. Like, do it something specific to where they have to give you a specific answer.
An open-ended one that you know the answer to.
Yeah. And then if you want to with them a little bit, just keep going with it. Even though, it's, like, not them.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, don't click links, though, or, like, do anything that you are not gonna be able to handle. Because I mean, as I said, we are both cybersecurity majors, so it's like we kind of know like how to go about doing it. But like if you're not really sure, then just don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I think that's about it. I don't really have any more advice to give you about this topic, you know.
Yeah. That's solid advice, though.
You Sunnies are smart. You know what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know, be safe.
We have faith in you.
We do. If you can navigate your way to listen to us, then I think you are more than capable of not being scammed.
Exactly.
Or being successful scammers. Y'all be smarter than us. Because if we hypothetically scam them, you can too. I promise.
Hypothetically.
Yeah, just be a little bit better than us. Okay, guys. Thank you for listening to today's episode. We will see you again next Monday with some good content.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. I'm excited to share all this stuff in the next episode.
Yeah, me too.
Remember, if you are watching from YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and comment for us. We need engagement.
Yes.
You know, it's always appreciated to kind of boost us in the algorithm. If not, if you hated it and you think we're stupid and stinky, just dislike it and then leave us a hate comment because we'll pin it anyways.
Yep.
Because we love the haters. The haters, like
Hey.
Amberlynn says.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. You know what to do. Stay sunny.
Stay sunny.
And here's to a good season 2.
Yes.